Baffles the imagination how I do this. Um, so yeah, I was going to say we've got Nick Martinez, who's the president and founder and CEO of MyGoFlight. Met him at Oshkosh a couple years ago. I use a lot of his stuff. He's going to introduce some of his stuff and even answer any questions you have. Talk about some deals that are going on, and even some stuff that are on their drawing board for MyGoFlight. They also do video recording stuff as well as a kind of an offshoot of MyGoFlight. And MyGoFlight's going to be at the convention next year. So Nick is going to join us tonight, and he'll also be up in Greeley, Colorado for the convention. I'll also give you an update on my efforts with the short WingTips podcast and what the thoughts and plans are. We'll do a brief update tonight. Scott Melman and I will talk about the 2026 convention. And then we should have a little bit of time for open mic. If you've been waiting for a good long open mic session, our next one in 2 weeks, the one right before Christmas, is going to be all open mic. We're not going to have any presenters. So you can bring any problem or issue or emotional turmoil you happen to be struggling with to the forum, and we'll just kind of wrap up your issue if we can. And then we'll close out the night. So that's what's in store for us tonight. Again, for the new folks, what we generally do with the meet and greet is if you can take a couple, 3 minutes, I've got about 30 minutes blocked out, 25, 30 minutes of our time tonight blocked out just to introduce yourself. Again, no different if you're new to the hangar at your local field and some guys, cooking up burgers and they're having a beer or two and you just want to come over and introduce yourself. Give us your name, where you fly out of, what airplane or planes do you have or do you fly? And then just so we can get everybody on some common discussions, what aviation item is on top of your Santa's wish list this year, just for fun. So again, minute or two or so, and I don't do it alphabetically or who signed in first or any of that silliness. I just, if there's dead space and you want to talk, just hop on in and talk. So I'll kick off just to begin with, and then whoever's ready to go can go. So again, my name's Jim Wood. I'm based at Rocky Mountain Metro Airport. I'm just north and west of Denver. You can see the field up there in the top panel. We're right up against the foothills of the Rockies. And we've got about just under 5,700 foot field elevation. So got 160 horsepower tri-pacer, and I'm glad I got all 160 of those horses, but she does just absolutely fine at density altitude for the most part. You fly in the mornings in the summertime. And you can see my panel there on the left side. Actually, I wasn't sucking up to our presenter tonight, but you can kind of see I've got a MyGoFlight panel mount right in the center there above the transponder. That's where I snapped my iPad mini into for ForeFlight. So anyhow, that's me. I think on my Santa's wish list, the biggest thing I want Santa to bring me is an avionics tech. I've been trying to get GPS installed in that blank gray spot in the middle of my panel. I asked originally almost a year ago now, and our field is so stinking busy and it's so hard to find a tech. I'm on the calendar for this winter is what I'm being told. So God, I wish I had an avionics tech. I want to put a Garmin 355 in and a second AV30 and a couple other things. So that's me. Who'd like to jump in? Introduce yourself, if you would, to the group, especially if you're new. Jump right up to the head of the line if you've never called into one of our Zoom gatherings before.
Well, good evening. My name's Norm Fillon. I'm from Manitoba, Canada. That's approximately half an hour north of the Minnesota border.
Okay.
Um, I parked my airplane at a small grass strip called Lincrest. We have about I'll say just under 60 hangars there, so it's kind of a fun place for hobbyists. Um, I'm a bit at a loss for words to talk about flying because about 2 years ago, Transport Canada suspended my medical.
Dang it.
So I've been basically going to the airport once a week to hug my airplane, and that's about it.
You got, are you going to be able to get it back, Norm?
I, I don't know.
Yeah, tough.
I don't know. What happened is I, uh, I felt a little bit of numbness on the side of my cheek.
Uh-huh.
So my wife thought that I should go get checked out. So I went and got checked out. They said, well, we don't see anything, any signs of a TIA, which is a
Yeah.
minor stroke. They said, but we do notice that you have a serious sinus infection. So I said, oh, okay, well, that kind of explains it. And but Transport Canada didn't take that very lightly. And so it's been 2 years.
Wow. Bummer.
Yeah, I may never get it back.
Wow. Well,
So, but I've got a nice to me, the 1958 Tri-Pacer with a 160.
okay.
And I was listening when you were mentioning that you're at the foothills of the Rockies. I would love to go fly in that kind of country because here it's so flat you can watch your dog run for 3 days.
Mm, hilarious.
We never talk about density altitude. What's that?
Wow. Oh no, now's the perfect time to fly because it's nice and cold, and that tripacer climbs like a rocket ship, man. Because in the summertime, as fat as I am, and you get full tanks and maybe a buddy with you, I'm giddy to get 400 feet a minute. So
Yeah.
I love it
Do you
when
get
it's nice and
but
cold.
heaters at this time of year? Like
Um,
do you
you know, my heater's so stinking strong. I still have to keep it. It'll inch out a little bit. So even that easing out just a little bit is plenty warm for me. Yeah,
yeah, but a preheat before starting, do you
yeah,
have to preheat?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm psycho
Okay.
about it. I preheat anything below 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'll turn it down. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah. So
Exciting.
That's another topic one day. I want to know what people are using for preheaters.
okay.
Curiosity, Norm, just out of curiosity here, this is going to be a really dated reference, but has anybody ever told you you look remarkably like Lauren Green from Bonanza? Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
You look like Paul.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you're the first Manitoban we've had, right?
It
Five?
is.
Is
We've
it you?
had 5 provinces so far.
5 provinces. That's cool. All right, cool. All right. Thanks for introducing yourself, Norm. Who else like to go?
I
Uh,
can.
I'll go. I'm from Ontario, Canada.
Hot dog. All right, go ahead.
Hey, so it's Paul Irwin here. I have a basic ultralight pacer as well as a tri pacer, number one,
All right.
the original prototype, and so I've been flying that since I was 4 years old when my father purchased it in 1963.
Wow, that is amazing.
So last summer or early last spring, I guess it was, my father and passed it on to me, and it was out in British Columbia at that point in time. So I brought it back across the country to my farm strip here in Ontario.
That's so cool. Oh my God, that's awesome. Have we had anyone from Ontario, Bob? I don't think so. Bob keeps the list.
Sorry, we have not. So that's 6 of the 13, right? I think their odds are getting better than the United States are right now. We're at 26 of 50, so real close
Set
there.
of 13. Yeah, they're almost beating the
There,
US. Yeah.
there's quite a few short wings in southern Ontario here.
All right.
Yeah, there's a number of them around. I mean, let's face it, it's a great grass strip airplane. I mean, no, I don't have the density altitude that you guys certainly have, but not that I haven't dealt with density altitude. If you're coming through Calgary, you're up in there that altitude as well, certainly on a summer's day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I understand what you're saying about sucking wind. I mean, because I've only got a 135 in my tri-pacer, so yeah, it's no rocket ship to the heavens, that's for sure.
Well, we'd love to have you come down for the convention. It'd be great.
Yeah, unfortunately, also being an organic garlic farmer, the summertime is kind of spent on the farm doing our agricultural thing as compared to blasting around the countryside. That's the problem with the agriculture aspect of things. But I am also a member of the Ontario Flying Farmers,
Okay.
and here in Ontario as well.
Cool.
So, Jim, sorry for jumping in here again, but Paul, my family will tell you, you are the most important person on earth to me. I love garlic. Everything I eat has got garlic in it. Most
Wow.
everything. Garlic and butter is like life to me.
Well, we consume rather a lot of garlic, and I mean, I was up to 3 acres of garlic. We're back down because of my age. I'm back down to an acre because I'm getting old and tired and cranky. So 1 acre works well for us. Majority of our garlic, actually, we run through our own commercial kitchen. So we do a lot of our own dehydrated garlic, black garlic, and the one that all of us should be looking at. And if you're into garlic, as you can make it yourself, is honey fermented garlic, because all of us are getting old and need all the little extra boosts that we can, and it certainly helps with our health. So there's my little plug, and in regards to the garlic. But yeah, aviation and this airplane in particular has been certainly a major part of my life. Back in 2009, which was the century of flight in Canada, since aviation started a little later in Canada than it did down in the United States, we did the century of flight with 3 generations of family pilots in the airplane. My father, myself, and my son, who was flight training at that point in time, and we flew coast to coast. Actually, the airplane flew coast to coast to coast that year, because I brought it back to Ontario, flew it around for a few months, and then my father took it back out to BC again.
Oh, cool. Wow. That's awesome. Hey, thanks for introducing yourself. Welcome. I'm glad you guys joined. This is
Thank you.
very, very cool. Yeah. Look
Jim,
forward to
I'll jump in here now, Jerry Kidd.
it. Jerry.
Keep this Canadian connection going. I'm based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada,
Okay.
and we're working a project. We picked up a 56 160 horse tri-pacer in pieces, and we're slowly putting it back together. Never flown a Piper, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge, I can see, learning how to fly this bird. Most of my time's on tail draggers, so looking forward to being able to fly a nose dragger if I can figure it out.
Oh, yeah. Piece of cake. Jerry, there's a ton of experts in these calls twice a month, man. So I'm glad you joined.
I thought it was in
Yeah.
1952 that in Flying Magazine that a 6-year-old girl can learn to land a tri-pacer in 6 easy lessons.
Well, I have to admit, I got an RV-10 as well, so that thing just makes me giggle when we land that thing.
Cool. All right. Glad you joined, Jerry. Yeah. Who else would like to introduce himself?
I'll jump in here. Ray Eaton. It might show as Nettles Island in Florida, but actually I'm based at the Zoo Liner 8 up in Zeeland, Michigan.
Okay.
And my aircraft is a 64 Colt, which I purchased about 20 some years ago, and I've been restoring it, and it finally is in the air. And that was quite a journey, putting that thing together again. And I think I've got a couple of 8030s installed in it, in fact. And so I'm looking forward to getting it's in storage right now. I am in Florida, but the airplane is in Michigan in storage for the winter. And when I get back in the spring, I'll be hoping to have the avionics check on it and the magnetometer installed, and we'll be ready to go.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you, Ray. Who else would like to pop in?
Well, I can do that.
Don't forget to talk about Santa too. Yeah, go ahead, John.
I don't know Santa. I mean, outside of everything I know and heard. Anyway, I'm in North Carolina, and I joined the group a year and a half ago at um, oh, at the air show that everybody was at. But I have a Piper Colt and been flying it for a while. It's actually, I fly out of KMRN, which is in Morganton, North Carolina. Right now it's down, getting a little bit of maintenance. I've learned about the bungee cord suspension that nobody told me about. And so I had to get special tool for that, but it's supposed to be finished this week, and I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Cool. You know, we've got a good tool library. Is that where you got it from, John?
No, I did some research online, and there was an aeronautical supply house in Texas, and I asked the mechanic, "Is this what you need?" He said, "Yeah." So I bought it, and he's working. He's finishing it up this week, and then I'll still have the tool for the next time when I have to do this.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks for
So
introducing yourself, John.
it's a fun plane to fly. It's only 108 horsepower, but it only holds me and somebody else, so it's fine.
Sounds glorious, huh?
Hmm.
All right. Who else would like to introduce yourself? Especially if you're new to the group.
I'm Ronnie Burns from Baltimore, Missouri, 58, 160 horse dry pacer. Plan on coming in June. If the wife comes, I'll be driving a motorhome. If she don't, I'll be flying.
Awesome. Great, Ronnie. Any Santa wish list stuff coming up?
Oh, yeah, EB30s, 355. It'd be a great panel upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm hoping for too. Cool. All right. Who else would like to jump in? Especially if this is your first time.
I'll go.
Oh,
So,
yes.
my name's Matt. I'm from Western New York, so almost Canada, from Buffalo. And so I don't actually have a short wing yet, but I'm looking to get a tri-pacer. I'm talking with some folks to potentially buy one relatively soon, which in the winter is a bit of a challenge, but I'm pretty excited about it. You know, I've been looking for the right one for a little while. Primarily flying out of Lancaster, Buffalo, which is kind of right under the Buffalo class Charlie. So I suppose the big thing on my wish list is the plane itself, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, where I'm going to start, and we'll figure it out from there.
All right. Well, again, you've heard me say it earlier, but there's a bunch of good experts, not only in this room, but in the club. So that's what I reached out to when I bought mine. So yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, cool. Who else would like to hop in?
So while we're in Western New York, I'll go as well. Matt and I actually know one another. I'm from a little bit east of him, but not too far east. I've got a 1961 Colt tail dragger, which I actually just had the privilege of flying today at about 15 degrees Fahrenheit and only, I don't know, 20 gallons of fuel on board. The performance was spectacular. I was giggling all the way down the runway.
Yeah, I kind of saw that football game. I see what you're dealing with.
At least it wasn't snowing today. And I realized, so this is, it's a Colt tail dragger. It's a little bit nutty on the pavement, but I realized today when there's some snow on the pavement, it kind of behaves a lot like grass, which was really nice.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, I liked it. It kind of gave me the thought that maybe I ought to fly up to that ice runway in New Hampshire this winter.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? That looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
I'll jump in. Howard Comestam. I've got a PA 22-150 that I accidentally bought. I made an offer to a trustee and ended up with it. Based in Smyrna, Tennessee, 10 miles away from Nashville. And my wish is to go through the annual without any major complications.
Oh, yeah. Good one. Good one, Howard.
Howard, where are you from?
Smyrna, Tennessee.
Oh, you are Tennessee. Okay.
Good to see you again, Howard.
Thanks.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that story? I'm getting an echo now. Why would I be getting an echo? Huh. See if we have someone. Give me 1 second here. Does that help? Not yet. That help? Yeah, that helped. Trying to mute a few guys. Stand by. I still can't get rid of that echo here. How about now? I know, I'm trying, Scott. I'm trying. All right, well, I'm going to keep going. I hear a slight echo, but I don't think it's unbearable. I was just going to tell the quick story about a buddy of mine. You talked about accidentally buying your airplane. I got a buddy that had to get out. Him and his wife were on a trip to Texas, and he had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to use the restroom, right? And he grabs his iPad and he's just looking on eBay, and there's this plane for sale, and nobody bid on it. So he thought, oh, I'll just put $1,500 down, and submitted the bid, went to bed, and he woke up and he won it. So he had to explain, it was some project, he had to go drive to Florida and pick it up in a U-Haul. And he had to explain to his wife over breakfast that he kind of accidentally bought an airplane. It didn't go over real well. But anyhow.
So I'm not the only one.
That's hilarious. All right, we got a few more minutes. I'm telling stories and we got introductions. I apologize. Who else would like to hop in?
Yes, Paul from South Florida. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm at North Perry Airport, in between Fort Lauderdale, Class Charlie, Miami, Class Bravo. Just do a lot of this is good radio. If you want radio time, that's South Florida's place to be. As for my wish list, a good another upgrade in my secondary comm radio. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too, Paul. But with that GPS and another comm, well, yeah, because I don't have the one. Who else? Like to jump in?
I'm also.
This is Tom Anderson. Go ahead, Merrick.
I guess I got
up. Go ahead.
Merrick, go.
Yeah, I'm in southern Canada, also down in Florida. So in northern part of Florida. Yep, got a pretty good echo going. Yeah. So I got a clipper that came with a hanger I bought. So accidentally bought that one. So it's all original 108 horse. The only thing different about it is the tail wheel. Am I making too much echo?
Yeah, I'm trying to troubleshoot it. I agree with Bob. It's usually when someone has a phone and or you've called in twice or something like that. So that's why I know there's only one phone on here, and they're muted. All right. I'm going to do something, guys. I'm going to mute. I can't mute, or I was going to say, you guys talk, but that won't work. I may have to mute all. No, that stopped it, I think. All right. Well, it's the first time we've had this, so you newcomers don't think, oh my God, these guys can't do this. So hang with us. Who else would like to introduce themselves?
Jim, this is Tom Anderson. I'm from Southwest Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. And if you guys are looking for an airplane, I've got one to sell.
Oh man!
Time to finish the project, finish projects, and kind of move on. When you start to get old, sometimes that happens. But so there, the weather here has been pretty lousy lately. Today was nice, but it's been the first one in about a month, and it would have been nice to go for a ride.
Bummer about selling the plane, but I'll tell you, Matt, if you're Tom Anderson is like the top of the heap on Short Wing Guru, so he's got a plane for sale. You might want to go from Buffalo down to his neck of the woods. I'm telling you. So, all right, I think let me try something. Who else would like to join in? and introduce themselves.
I can go. I'm Dan Patey out of Long Beach, hangared in Compton. I have a 59 22 150 that I've had for 7 years now. I have no avionics on my Christmas list because I blew all my money this summer and did a new panel, and I just need to fly it. I need to stop wrenching on it and put more hours on it. So very happy with it.
Awesome. Awesome, Dan. Thank you. We'll do one more, and then I think we figured out the source of the echo too. So one more success, huh? One last introduction, and then we'll get on with the rest of the night.
Go ahead.
I'm Daryl Daniels, and I know that Mr. Anderson. I met him coupled about 3 times now, but I thought he went south for the winter. Anyway, I've got a 58 Piper Tri-Pacer 150, and it does a nice job. I went from a Mooney down to a Tri-Pacer, and I'm really enjoying it. Just not as fast.
So you think that was a downgrade, huh?
Well, I didn't mean it that way. After I said it, I
No,
thought,
that's what
boy, I'm going to catch it over that remark.
No, that's what I join. I do the Comanche zooms every now and again because I used to own a Comanche, and I always tell them that I upgraded from a Comanche to a Tri-Pacer. And,
I see.
you get grunts and groans. That's okay. Well, cool. Glad you guys joined. And again, if you didn't get a chance to introduce yourself, just a heartfelt welcome. I'm so glad you joined, and look forward to continuing on. I'll talk at the very end of the meeting tonight that I record these. Thanks to Bob Oakes reminding me to record them, and then I will upload them to our YouTube page. And every one of our Zoom meetings has been recorded. So if you want to check out particular topics, and in the description on our YouTube page, I try to describe what the major topics we hit on. And so it's almost like a video library. If you just search in YouTube for Short Wing Zoom, you'll find it. So wanted to remind you of that, especially if you're new to the group. Let's spend a couple minutes real quick on regional presidents news, and if you have any happenings going on or things on the hopper or things you want to talk about, now's your time to talk with regard to that. Just jump on in if you're a regional president.
Is there a regional president in Alaska anymore? I know there used to be a club up here, but I don't know if it still exists.
Man, that sounded like a volunteer to me, Roy. I think congratulations to Roy for being. That's no, that's on our. I've talked to my pal Scott, and that and one other person in the club about maybe we just do a purge of the list and figure out who's there, because I've heard the same things, and it's not like anyone's dropping balls or or anything like that. It's just we just need to make sure it's a good solid list. I know the Dans down in Southern California just kind of said, hey, we're just going to do it, and that's what they did. They did it, and hold monthly fly-ins and all those kind of cool kind of thing, workshops and so forth, nice social events. So I'm kind of stay tuned with that if you can be patient a little bit, Roy, because you're not the first guy that's asked that about what the heck's going on in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, we've got two sort of based in Missouri. One's in Lebanon, Missouri, which is down close to the Ozarks. The gentleman that's been running that for years, his wife has taken a little bit ill, so he hasn't been able to do much. And the other guy is based real close up here in St. Louis. I think his name is Greg Kuklinski. But he kind of he did finally, at least Greg's replied back to me and said, I guess his club actually voted to put it on freeze. I think there might be some background there that Jim Hand can kind of give me some more background on that one. But he said, he goes, anybody wants to refresh it. I think I'd rather not try to refresh a froze one and maybe see if we can get the guys down in Lebanon to get a little bit more active again. I thought we had somebody on here that's part of that. Anybody here from? I didn't see anybody from Missouri but me.
No, I'm Baltimore, Missouri, right, not too, about 60 miles from Fred.
That Ronnie, you're the ones. That's right. You're the one that lives with the ex-governor.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I said the last time I was going to try to get together with you and see what we could do about
Yeah.
what you feel like we could do if we want to try to rustle some people up again to maybe some of the people that are in St. Louis right now would be. I would rather join a more full active one than try to spin one up myself or try to spin up an inactive one. So I would rather join you guys down there if you think we can drum up enough interest, Ronnie. I could help if you like.
That might be a topic for when we do the open mic next time, or
That's great.
or
Sounds
maybe
perfect.
even do a whole Zoom gathering on brainstorming ideas for revitalizing the chapter. Because I still think that I'm not honest to God living in 1989. I still think there's a need or a desire for folks to do that kind of chapter stuff. And I think it just takes, like the Dans down in California, where you just do it and you start repeating it and you get some momentum. I'll tell you, our airport outside of Denver, Rocky Mountain Metro Airport, we had a group called the Jeffco Aviation Association that was, we didn't, nothing going on for years. We do one pancake breakfast a year and that was it. And in the spirit of, if you dip your toe in the water, you become the lifeguard, I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to have a hangar party. And we had 6 guys show up. And we said, you know what? Let's do that the first Friday of every month. We'll rotate hangars. And we'll just do a hangar happy hour. That's all. Nothing. You don't have to cook burgers or anything like that. We did that. I did my first one in August, and we just did our last one last Friday. We had 26 people show up. And there's just that, it's just takes the momentum, and we've been doing it every month. And I know it's all, everybody's local and all that good stuff, but I still, anyhow, that might be a good topic for a future Zoom meeting. I don't want to, sorry, I keep moving my mouse the wrong direction there. I don't want to shortchange our speaker tonight, so I want to move on to the next agenda topic, if it's okay with you guys. And I wanted to introduce you all to the founder and president of, and I'm not sure if I got the job titles right, of MyGoFlight. His name is Nick Martinez. And I'll just tell you, and I know, when we have a guest speaker, I will only contact someone in a product, because I'm the one that's kind of picking out the speakers for the most part, right? A product or a service, like when we had that PIREP reporting dude, that I really am passionate about, and I think it's a good thing, right? I'm not just looking at people that can come talk about their stuff or whatever. And I told you guys when we first started these Zooms that these were not going to be like salesy kinds of things or anything like that. But I will tell you, if like with UAvionics, when they were here a couple months ago, Nick Martinez and MyGoFlight falls into the same category. I was an early adopter to the MyGoFlight stuff with their lap board, and they have snap-on kind of iPad casings and so forth. And I was trying to count how many of their products I have either in my house. I have a good flight simulator, or in my plane itself. And I think I have 9 of them or 8 of them or something like that. And that's great, right? I mean, I got all kinds of stuff from wherever. But the thing that stands out with Nick specifically and MyGoFlight that I've experienced over several years is I've had 3 different issues with their stuff. And not that it was problems, it was just, okay, I bought the big iPad lap board that opens up to a desk back years and years ago. And about 6 months later, they came out with a new one. And I was like, oh man, I want the new one. So I called them up and they said, well, send your old one in and we'll see if he can retrofit it. And they retrofit it. And I just asked them, how much is that going to be? And they said, oh, don't worry about it, it's free. So I got this new swivel mount. It was awesome, right? For free. And then because I was horsing around with my iPad on my panel, where you can see my GoFlight mount right here, on my Mini, I kind of wore out the gasket. And I thought, oh man, I got to buy a new mount. So I called MyGoFlight folks, and I said, we'll send you a few. In fact, I think I talked to Nick at Oshkosh. That's what it was. I talked to him at Oshkosh. Said, oh, we'll send you a few more gaskets, fix those right up. Then another thing, bro, fix those right up. So they really stand behind their stuff. And again, I'm not sucking up to them. It's just if they do, I'm going to tell you guys their stuff is incredibly high quality and they stand behind it. So I asked Nick if he'd be willing to talk about things that he's offerings that, are even more specific to our type airplanes, as far as gear or flight equipment or whatever, and even things that are on the drawing board from MyGoFlight. And Nick has also agreed to present and talk about his stuff. You can feel it and touch it at our convention in June at Greeley, Colorado. So I'm real excited that Nick's agreed to do both of these things, and really want to welcome him to the group. So Nick, if you want to request the share, I can go ahead and share your screen and tell us about MyGoFlight. Sorry if I babbled on too much. Might be on mute, Nick. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I lost him. Hold on, stand by, guys. Oh man, you know what? I think he's got a different Zoom login. Hold on a second, guys. Not sure what happened. Can you guys give me a minute? He just texted me, said he's the only one in the meeting.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'll do a selfish little request here. I finally got an ACK ELT, and this will be for next week. I'll cut this short if he gets him back on real quick.
Yeah, that's great, Bob.
But how are people mounting their ELTs? Jim Hand locally here said he was going to get a honeycomb board, and his A&P is going to mount it back in the tail section somewhere. So anybody got their ELT mounted back there?
Yeah, mine is.
Yeah, mine is too, and I have the RTX one, and yeah, those batteries are a cool $600, for a lithium battery. It's hilarious.
I know it wasn't proper, but I'd have kept my old one if I could have, just because of the cost. But
I got mine mounted underneath the hat rack. I mean, you can't see it, but it's there.
anybody post any pictures out on like Short Wing Piper or something like that, or? I could search that too. I know Steve Carruthers also wants us to do that, and it's so much quicker to post on Facebook. So
Yeah, well, I just installed a new ELT on my airplane, which is I did the restoration, and I mounted mine right behind the bulkhead of the luggage compartment.
okay, it seems to make sense to. It's not very heavy, but it seems to make sense to move that as far forward as you can.
Yes,
I've never had the seat out, so the back seat, I've never had that out. I guess that would get a little bit in the way of storage, I guess, if you did that.
Yeah, I mean, I would not put it too far back. I know when we talked about this maybe a month or 6 weeks ago, and Steve was saying he put it all the way in the back. And for weight and balance, that is okay, but I would be concerned about the momentum, especially on a tail dragger. Having that weight all the way back, when that gains momentum, when you in trouble landing already, and you have this heavy weight in the very tail, I try to get as much forward as possible. So I just have it right behind the bulkhead of the luggage compartment.
Okay.
And in one of my restoration videos, I'm posting my restoration on my YouTube channel.
I just caught one of them last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember which video it is.
I'll go take a look.
I think I'm up to number 14. But one of the videos there should be when I covered that when I installed it.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
That
right,
helps a lot.
guys. Hey, Nick is on right now. That was my fault. I think I sent him a bad invitation. So,
Hey, Jim, how are you?
all right,
Hey,
Nick,
fellas. Can you guys see me?
I gave this glowing introduction for you. You didn't even hear it, talking about how well you stand behind your products, how gloriously they are, how solid they are, and you're a hell of a model American. And we've got
My
five.
head would be so big, I wouldn't be able to fit on the screen.
Yeah, we got 5 Canadians on, and they're impressed too. So,
Wow, that's
yeah,
terrific.
we got about 26 or so, 25 or 26 short wingers from the U.S. and Canada on. So, again, guys, welcome Nick Martinez. And if you want to ask to share the screen, I can have you share the screen.
Yep. Thank you so much, Jim, and thank you, Short Wing Piper drivers. I think that's terrific. I learned a lot about your aircraft and the Piper early models ever since World War II and that type of thing. And did you know that the first airplane that was shot down was a Piper in Oahu, right there at Pearl Harbor?
I didn't know that.
Why were they flying that in
They
Pearl
were,
Harbor?
it was a training flight.
Okay.
And apparently the guy was able to bail out with a parachute and survived. So I thought that was kind of a cool little anecdote there.
Oh, I didn't
But
know.
I want to get right into my presentation. I know we have a firm timeline here.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can, let's see. I think I have to request from you, Jim, that I can share something.
Yep, you got it.
Now, did that share?
Yeah. Oh, not yet.
You guys see it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Why don't you try it now there, Nick? There you go.
Okay, it says I'm screen sharing. I hope that's the right visual. I hope everybody can see everything. I'm going to go ahead and get right on into it. Here's our, let's see. Okay. Can everybody see that?
Yep. If you want to hit the start slideshow from the current slide up in the upper left corner, that'd probably be a little easier for us.
Okay. From the beginning.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, MyGoFlight. We're here in Denver, Colorado, USA. A little bit about myself. I grew up in Kermit, Texas. Born there, spent my summers there. Eventually migrated with my parents to Boulder, not too far from you, Jim, down south. I entered into the Army. After the Army, did some work as a wealth management private banker. I banked 12 families in 7 states, all worth over $150 million. So that was kind of a really exciting time during my life. Ended up spending time with Rotary International, Boy Scouts. I am forever a student pilot. There's a lot of reasons for that. I have 4 grown children. I enjoy flying, skiing, travel, and fly fishing. We were established in 2010 with 3 partners. One was Charlie Schneider, my best friend. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2021 in our Cirrus. We're headquartered in Denver off of 3rd and Calumet, and we design, manufacture, and market premium quality mounts, cases, flight bags, luggage, power solutions, protective glass, and accessories for aviators. Today, I'd like to chat with you just a little bit about, hey, some of the installation tricks and tips, storage and carry for your mounts, review some of the products for your particular type aircraft, and how you handled different challenges of power or glare, or organizing or caring for your EFB tablets. Okay, my CFO says I have to say this. You're on your own. That's not true. We're actually consider ourselves experts in the field of mounting EFBs, EFBs being tablets and other PEDs, personal electronic devices. These are all acronyms, so I'm sorry if I'm getting ahead of you on those. But the FAA likes to use them, PEDs, personal electronic devices, that type of thing, EFBs. They're basically tablets. The limit of our liability is the cost of what you paid for the device, because we can't possibly speak to every single situation in different class aircraft. There's 2,800 different models of aircraft out there, and especially for anything that's over about 30 years old, you spend a lot of time with modifications and not really understanding. So it's up to the pilot in command to make sure that they understand everything that they're doing. All right, we'll do mounting solutions. We categorize them in three different ways, really. How can I suction onto something, whether it's painted, whether it's stainless steel, whether it's acrylic, whether it's glass, yokes and clamps. We're able to take clamps and get them onto yokes, which are yokes are pretty exclusive to aviation. And then, of course, we bolt things. We bolt them onto the panel. We bolt them onto the different parts of the fuselage for different types of missions. So I have a suction cup mount here. This is probably our top selling product. It is a very good suction cup that comes from a company called Panavice. They pick up 1 inch thick real glass panels for commercial buildings, and they pick them up with suction cups. And so we thought, hey, that's shear strength. And it was probably the best ones out of the ones that were available 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And we went with Panavice. So they can be trusted. We really like them. We have a flex arm in which kind of goes to kind of a rope, if you will. And then, of course, we've got the MyGoFlight adapter that basically has two little green buttons that mechanically release and attach the universal cradle, which holds an iPad and an iPad mini, or our phone cradle, which of course holds a phone, and many other devices out there like GPSs, ADSB, and those types of avionic devices. So, people ask us all the time, do I need to, clean this suction cup all the time? I said, no, you don't really have to clean it all the time, but you have to be, make sure that it's free of any grit or dirt, because when you get dirt or grit in between there and you get the vibration, well, you're going to get some smokiness on your acrylic, just from the constant rub, over a flight. So you do want to just wipe it off with just microfiber, make sure the surface is clean of any oil or dust or debris, and then you just simply push the center of the suction cup and then pull the tab up, and it securely fits it there.
So I don't have to be licking that nasty thing like I do?
No, your
Doggone it.
tongue's too small, and now you don't get to have that fun anymore. Unnecessary. This silicone is soft enough that it's going to do the job for you. Some people do call us and go, "Oh, well, I wet it every time, and it never comes off." I've had a flex suction on my desk, above my desk, on a piece of glass for about 7 years. I never licked it. I never did anything with it. It just sits there and has stayed on for 7 years, but also hasn't gone through all the different elevations.
I've had some issues with the suction kind of coming off at altitude. Have you guys addressed that, or like what's the solution?
Well, the challenge is that once you get to altitude, you're probably in another environment. And so I tell folks, hey, right before, when you've done your run up and that type of thing, you're going to want to seat it. When you get to flight altitude, seat it again. And when I say seat it, just flip the bail and push the button one more time and push the bail back over. That's it. Takes you less than 3 seconds. And then when you get to altitude, and then when you're out, probably at the 5-mile final, that type of thing, you want to reseat it again, because we've heard that the times that they have fallen is right there on approach, and it's absolutely the worst
Yeah.
time for it to fall. Um, and frankly, fellas, I've never liked the suction cup as a compliance or complied product, but the FAA says you can use suction cups, and so we use them, and you just have to have a little knowledge on how they work. It's a very small 3/8 inch diaphragm there, and it's pretty tough once you start getting to altitude like that for it to suck anymore, unless you actually do the input to suck, push out that air and to create that suction. If it is a MyGoFlight product, you have a 1-year warranty. Just send me an email. I'll send you a new one for free. Don't worry about that. The flex clamp. I know you guys use the stick, but I did want to just mention that we can go on to anything that looks like a glare shield, the front edge of a glare shield. You can get onto a yoke up to 1.75 inches in diameter. Works with the the flex arm and the MyGoFlight adapter. And this is used a lot in boating. A lot of people use this in boating. But
I
we
use
like
that on my cross. I use that particular unit on the cross. What do you call them, guys?
Beams.
Across the windshield, what the glare shield.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I use that one so it comes down off the passenger side. Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of people do use that one. They like it because they can get that extra length out of it.
Yeah.
We also have a shorter armed one for some folks that have perhaps even smaller cockpits. It's a shorter arm. It's probably about 6 inches instead of the 10 inches that the normal flex arm is configured in. Sometimes there's the diameter of a chromed piece of pipe or tubing is very, very slick. And some people have said, hey, the rubber on the inside of this clamp does not provide enough holding power. And so if you have gaffer's tape, it's kind of a cloth tape that does not permanently stick to anything. It's called the gaffer's tape. They use it a lot in theater work and at trade shows, putting down floors. So that tape, if you ever have that challenge where it's slipping, just let us know. We'll send you out a couple of inches of that gaffer's tape, and that'll solve that problem. Okay, this is where panels are important. A lot of people want to put their iPad or their EFB alongside an HSI or something like that. And the bolted panel does just that. It's a 3/8 inch hole pattern, which goes over, which is a common standard in avionics, and it's super simple to install. We provide you with the hardware. Sometimes people, want to put this into wood or something, and so we do ask them to buy those, number 6 and a wood screw if they do something like that. A lot of people like it because you don't have to make your own new holes in your panel. You don't have to add them. And usually because of the power of the iPad, they're probably taking away an avionic. Or if they're not taking away the avionic, they just leave the avionic installed and they put spacers on the front of the avionic and then add this plate on top of that. So they don't have to go through the expense of removing that avionic. This is one of my favorites. This flex bolted panel because it only has the 2¼ inch footprint, and then it also slides out so that you can remove it completely from the aircraft and then go install it perhaps in the hangar or put it in your pickup truck, or take it some other place where it's needed at the time, and that's a very, very popular mount as well. The quick release I made for military vehicles. We do sell quite a few of these to a bunch of Humvee and military. They use them for Humvees and different type of military vehicles. And I made it with a little bit of, I call it slop. And people go, hey, why is it so sloppy? And he says, well, when you're in the desert, it's very, very hot. If you get a grain of sand in there, you will not be able to get that piece of equipment out until the sun goes down, and you get it much cooler. But if you have a little bit of quote slop in there, it will be able to work itself out and still be able to use the equipment. We make all of these to be used with gloves, part because it's very, very cold at altitude, and it's very, very hot in some of the desert conditions where airplanes also fly. Very, very popular product. We use this in NASCAR. We use this in what's it called? The Baja 400. And they use action cameras for this. And we even have one of these installed in the X-59. NASA asked us to do a specialty product for them. And this got certified by NASA to put in the X-59, which is basically studying the boom, the sonic boom characteristics, so that they can start perhaps creating aircraft that no longer have or have a very small sonic boom to be able to fly over cities and that type of thing. Super cool. This is one of my favorites because I can put a iPad on here, and on the right of that, on that Picatinny slide, it's about a 5-inch slide there at the bottom. I can put in a iPhone as well. So you guys are flying low enough for the most part, it sounds like, or you can just pick up cell towers. And wouldn't it be nice to have a couple bits of information that you probably wouldn't normally have? And you can do that with your iPhone and your iPad and have a lot of information. So it's our Picatinny slide. The leg mount. This is the one that I really think would be beneficial for you. As a stick aircraft, this will go on your left or right leg. It basically is you see the platform there. We bought that from a company that makes gun holsters. And this is made out of nylon. It's made to go around your leg. We added two very nice straps that have rubber on the inside so they don't slip on your leg. The connections or the clasps for this are magnetic, so that if it's a little dark or it's just kind of hard to get to, that magnet will help self-locate and secure the strap to your leg. Works both with all of our cases, and you can even you could put a phone on there. You could put an EFB, a tablet. You could put a GPS on there. And it has a lot of flexibility in that you can move it forward and aft with the hardware that's included. It tilts up, down. It's an 18-pound hinge, so you know it's not going to collapse on you very easily. When you pick it up and pull it towards you, you're going to want to grab the actual mount itself and pull it, as it might the iPad might release if you pull the iPad and try to yank it off. Pretty cool YouTube. I'm not sure if this YouTube will work, but I'm going to try it. All right.
Honestly, you shouldn't buy this book because once you do, you'll never look at your medicine cabinet the same way again.
Are you able to see this?
No, I could hear it, but couldn't see it.
Can you hear it? Then I guess I will not play that. Jim, we'll be able to get this whole PowerPoint out to everybody.
Okay.
Afterwards. And you'll be able to look at a quick video and you'll be able to see exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, and I'm recording this anyhow, so folks can
go
back
good.
to it. Yeah.
Some of the other challenges is glare. Protecting your iPad, protecting your phones. Shoot, iPads are now almost $1,400. And I wasn't really aware of that till I went and bought one this last September. And so glare. We have what's called Armor Glass by MyGoFlight. And basically what it does is it protects your iPad by putting an H9 hardness, which is the hardest you can get just below diamond quality. It's a very thin piece of glass. It's got silicone and three other layers of protection, all bonded together. And it's included. What's included in the packaging is a template. It used to be you had to almost land the device right on, and be perfect with it. And if you were wrong, it wouldn't reattach. Well, we've gotten rid of all of that. We worked with our manufacturer over in I think Japan, and we were able to produce a piece of glass that is perfect for aviators. Uh, so many people go, oh, well, this is anti-glare, and you buy it, from a big box store, and they kind of go, well, it sort of kind of works. We know this works. One of the reasons we know this works was we just closed a deal for 10,000 pieces of glass with a major airline. They studied this problem for 18 months. We were in competition with 7 other pieces of glass out on the market, 2 of them which were competitors of ours in the aviation space. And so now that we've delivered on those products, we're just trying to get their marketing group to let us tell the story that we were selected. One of the reasons we were selected was because we truly do work with OEMs to help them find their solution. One of the things we found out about this glass, distributing this out to 10,000 pilots, this particular company, this particular airline, their uniforms, blue uniforms. So in our initial testing, there was no problem, which started in the winter. And then summer came around, everybody was in their short sleeve white shirts. Guess what? White is one of the hardest colors that will wash out your iPad. And we at first thought, well, maybe we'll give the pilots bibs, black bibs, to put around their neck so that they could not receive the glare that was happening. And eventually we settled on a recipe that they signed off on after testing it with 100 pilots across their enterprise. And we were selected here, I think, in June or July. So I think you'll be really, really pleased with this type of product. It has a guarantee that we'll sell it to you at 50% off for the life of your device. And we sell quite a few of these.
I've had 5 of them so far. Yeah.
Well, wait till you have 4 kids and all growing up through high school and junior high. I was going through those things like crazy. So the next thing we're do is we do power solutions. We developed a dual digital USB adapter. People go, hey, why is it so important? Well, because it will also tell you how much power is coming off the aircraft, so that you know where the problem with your power is at. Is it between the device and the dual digital USB, or is it with your cigarette lighter, or is it with an alternator, or something like that? So this is tested up to 32 volts. People go, why 32 volts? Well, there's a lot of 28 volt systems out there. And on the run up, when you do full power, you'll get to 32. And what you don't want to have happen is at 33, you get a puff of smoke on your climb out, and that's never good. So that's why we do that. We also don't make it out of plastic. We found that plastic ones are just a 2-piece clamshell, and any type of pressure in front of our flight bags will crush that, and making it unusable at the time that you exit the aircraft and you're needing it most, because you need to check power on the way to the hotel and using the cigarette lighter in your car, your rental car. So this has fast charging. People say, well, what does that mean? I said, well, I can't really tell you. I can tell you this: in about 15 minutes, I'll have about 3/4 of my iPhone charged. That's enough for me. We also have backup power battery solutions on the website that you can find that have both the USB-C and the Lightning connection, because the ear pods still use the Lightning connection. And the USB-C seems to be where everybody is going to go. It's going to be the standard of the future, USB 3.0. And flight bags, a way to carry all of these things. We like to offer a full solution as opposed to just a single product. We like selling a product line. What does that mean? It just means that, hey, when you leave your house, you're going to have a very safe and secure way to carry your $1,500 headsets, $1,200 headsets, your $1,200 iPad, your work phone, your backup battery, your ADSB, all of those things that are very, very expensive. This has been, I think, for the last 12 years, named the #1 flight bag by Flying Magazine. And people go, well, how do you develop this? And I said, well, we really listen to our customers. And so this is 15 years of development with this particular type of flight bag. It's the largest bag that we have. And then we have a couple more, the Commuter and the Elevate. They're a little smaller and might fit in your class aircraft a little bit better, but has everything you'll need: a space for your radio, a place for your water. You've got a spot in there to take your lunch, maybe even an extra pair of change of clothes with a shirt and a pair of underwear, toothbrush, your laptop, your iPad. All of those things will stay in there, and it's a super, super nice bag. And it has embroidery available if you wanted to give it as a gift, or you just wanted to stand out, or you wanted to put your tail number on it, or something like that. That's super cool. So there's a lot of questions that come from, hey, am I legal? And there's a lot of resources, the FAA says. If it's not a minor change, it's a major. And so we try to stay in the minor area. But for the most part, these are all carry-on, carry-off devices. And there is no need for any type of compliance in that area. But those that like to have it, here's a whole bunch of resources. How to install bolted type devices onto your panel, how to help your mechanic understanding a minor or major change. I think the FAA policy, the PS, whatever that is, 23-01 R1, that one is a good place to start. And I just threw in some information about the Picatinny rail and the APS pattern. Let's see, I threw in some information in the event that you want to install cameras with a sister company that we have, and I can come back and talk to you guys about that if you'd like. It's called FlightFlix. We mount cameras to the exterior of your class aircraft to be able to share these all over your social media, to be able to share these with friends and families. A lot of people use it for commercial purposes. It's a lot less expensive than hiring a helicopter to fly right next to you to take a few pictures. You can do it yourself with the FlightFlix exterior camera mounts. So I gave you that information. Let's see, what else did I do here? There's a couple products there. Those two products, one for your tail wheel on the J3, and also the slim GoPro strut mount for your struts. Those would be two products that you might be interested in looking at. Here's just information on the 3 1/8 plate. And I think that's it.
Cool. We have
questions do you have?
We actually have I haven't told the group yet, but I've been able to get a guy that does a phenomenal YouTube channel that he's going to be presenting at the end of January, and it might be nice to see those the FlightFlix options after that one. Maybe in a February or so Zoom gathering for guys that are interested. And this guy does phenomenal work, and he also uses it for flight training too. So he's you can say, well, I think I flared a little high, but the camera don't lie. You know what I mean? So that's what
you're
right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. We typically do lead with flight training because there's never that odd moment when you're with your flight instructor and you kind of go, hey, you did this. And I go, no, I didn't do that. And then there's this little odd time when you're not saying anything and he tells you again, hey, you did this again. Well, when you take the video and you look at it, it's proof positive, exactly what happened, exactly what what the input was, what happened to the attitude of the aircraft, and then some type of change or reinforcement of the proper procedure, and it will make you a better pilot, and it will train your students faster. One of the things that's always been difficult for us is when we go to early on in our training, we would have a CFI tell us things like, hey, what do you want to practice today? And it would drive us crazy because it was like, well, aren't you watching me?
Yeah.
And so this is something where, hey, if I don't get anything else out of it, I can put my cameras on the inside, and look at the panel. I can put one out on a wing, put one out on a tail, and I can see exactly what happened, exactly what time, and using other applications like Cloud Ahoy, and your ForeFlight or your Garmin or any of the other applications out there. You can then see it. You can see a video of your input on the inside. You'll be able to see what happens with the digital 3D of your flight, the exterior, and then be able to see the data. Well, what happened? When I did this input, did I go up? Did I go down? What happened to my sight line? Those types of questions get answered, and you can answer them by yourself. You don't even need your CFI there. You can just review the film. And we know that it works in the NFL. We know that it works in swimming. We helped the U.S. Olympic swim team with some things regarding cameras. And so we know that they use it. I'm like, well, this is a sport too. And I think we can really gain some value. And hey, if we can bring along a couple of people that we've influenced to join in this awesome um, you know this flight, being able to fly airplanes, that would be really really cool as well. So if there's anything that we can do to help you, please call us, send us an email. I'm going to make sure that I get this PowerPoint back to Jim along with a 20% discount. Normally, you just offer 10% to new subscribers. But hey, if you're going to spend your time, I'm going to invest in you and see if we can't provide you with some of the best equipment available.
That's
So,
awesome. Thank you, Nick.
any
Wow.
any other questions from the crew? Dan, are you there? Is that your baby, or is that a grandkid, or what is that?
A grandkid, that I guess technically it could be, but no, this is my baby. Yeah, and
All right.
he's been kind of vocal, so I've been on mute mostly.
Well,
But
that's okay.
thank
My
you for your time. All of this
Yeah.
stuff looks amazing, and super interested in looking at it and touching it and using it. But thank you so much.
No, you're welcome so much. And if you're in Denver or wherever you're at, or just send me an email. Happy to jump on a video call with you. Happy to jump on a FaceTime if you're down at the hangar and you're just really trying to figure something out. Chances are other people have already figured it out, and we already know what that answer is. It'll save you time. This is our job. We love doing it. We'll be at Sun and Fun. We'll be at Oshkosh this year. Just signed the contract for the house that we're going to stay in for Oshkosh. So we're definitely going there. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and clear skies to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Dan.
Great presentation.
Thank you very much.
This is awesome. And their stuff is just phenomenal. So
Yeah, go to their website. There's a lot of pictures and a lot of descriptions on it.
oh yeah, and I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I mean, I got this stuff is just it's just like a champ, man. Just snaps in, snaps out, and I've got it on both my airplane and my home flight simulator. So yeah, it's can't say enough good things about their stuff, and I really appreciate your time, Dan or Dan. I was looking at Dan's baby there. Nick, thank you very much, Nick.
You're welcome very much. Clear skies. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
See you soon.
All right, cool, guys. That was awesome, huh?
That was good.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm excited that he's going to be at Greeley for the convention to so you can actually, like you were saying, Dan, where you can touch it and click it. And I even forgot that he sells those anti-glare screens, and I have them on all three of my devices I use in the airplane. And yeah, it's just good stuff, man. So anyhow, hope that was valuable for you. As we're kind of wrapping up our evenings, for the folks that are new, I didn't mention kicking off, but I do like to stop these right at 90 minutes. You probably have attended Zoom meetings either at work or another kind of things where they go on forever and ever and ever, and those just drive me nuts. So I really do try to keep us limited to the 90 minutes as best we can. I did want to give you a little more of an update. I'm still working on the Short WingTips podcast. I think I've got a good provider. I've got another couple podcasts that I'm muscling through. I'm hoping to kind of roll them out in January, 1st of January or so. But I'd still, again, that might be a topic to talk about next time, what you'd like to see in the podcasts. And I'm still haven't got my arms completely wrapped around whether the club wants us to do this or not, or wants me to do it or not, based on, this is our internal kind of content, putting it out to the masses. I kind of think it's a good marketing idea, but there's a way we can do a paywall sort of thing. So you can only see the podcast if you're a member of the club. So I think I've solved that problem. So I just wanted to give you that update. Again, for the guys, folks that weren't here last time, I'm thinking of, I know you probably, your hairs are going to back your neck and you stand on end when I say it, but I found a couple tools that will convert written documents into podcasts, and then AI will use the podcasts to have voices, a male and a female voice if I want, or two guys if I want, or whatever, and where they're interviewing each other and all that. And I've tested them, and they're not as hokey as that sounds. They're stunningly good. One of the comments last time was, it seemed like the woman was talking fast. Well, I realized I told the computer or AI to make it a 12-minute podcast. So they made it these stupid machines do exactly what you tell them to do, right? So they made it a 12-minute podcast instead of just doing the script like I gave it to them. So that was a lesson that I learned. But anyhow, that's coming our way. Again, I'm vacillating with whether or not we should have a whole Zoom discussion about it, or if we just talk about it during open mic next time. So we'll see how it goes next time. I also wanted to give one more update on our 2026 convention in Greeley, Colorado. Scott and I have got a fair amount of momentum going with this convention. We've got, as I plotted out our calendar, we've got most everything filled already, believe it or not. You heard Nick Martinez is going to be there with MyGoFlight. We're going a couple Univair tours, a couple tours of a flight school college up in that area that's got a simulator for air traffic control, simulator for drones, and then a pretty hot stuff simulator room for their primary flight training. I've got us scheduled for a professional storytelling workshop for your, if that's not your thing, maybe if you're bringing your sweetheart with you, that might be something they're interested in. There's a mural art walk that they could do. We've got a wine tasting and experience scheduled. Also have a microbrewery up there that's got a tour that we're going to do. The Greeley Stampede's a rodeo that we're planning on doing, it's one of the best rodeos in the country. If you Easterners out there have never had the pleasure, it's pretty fun. So I think we're going to do that. Hey, we'll see you, Dan. And Dan, if you didn't see the chat, the little guy's screaming. I think he's excited about the convention, is my theory. But so again, we've got a whole host of things going on. There's an article coming out in the Short Wing News in January, and the registration will probably start around the 1st of March. Block out your calendar for the week of June 22nd through 26th. I think I've mentioned this 10 times already, but if the Colorado Pilots Association holds a pretty hot stuff mountain flying course 2 or 3 times a year. I think they did it 3 times this year, and they get a good number of people in these. They're holding that course the 20th and 21st of June. So it's at a different airport, but it's relatively close. It's over in Scott's neck of the woods. And you might want to book in that on the front end of your trip and get a pretty good mountain flying course. 2 days. First day is ground school. Second day is actually flying. And then the back end of that weekend, starting from the 25th on for 10 days, is that Greeley Stampede Rodeo. So that's the convention.
How can I get more information on that mountain flying?
Yeah, it's. I just saw the guy last night at a banquet, last night. They don't have everything completely finalized, but if you go on the Colorado Pilots Association website, they have a tab for the mountain flying course. I've taken it 3 or 4 times now. It's pretty good. A lot of mountain weather, a lot of just, school of hard knocks kind of things. It's pretty good. Yeah. And I thought of I've got on the drawing board, rather than a kind of generic poker fly-in, I thought we could do an air rodeo and also maybe do a mountain flying trip where we fly up to, depending on the winds, of course, but maybe we'd take one of those days if you guys go up and fly up to maybe Laramie, Wyoming or something like that, go up a valley where you don't have to get, 9,500 feet will get us up there and all. But it depends a lot on the winds, especially Laramie, The ATIS will say calm gusting to 35. So, yeah, we got to see what the winds are. But anyhow, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jim, I was just going to say, the guys that are coming in as flatlanders, you keep hearing about density altitude, and I just don't want anybody to be scared of coming into Greeley because you just plan accordingly and make sure you're not, 4 passengers full fuel. We wouldn't want to do that, at sea level sometimes, but depending on how many horses we got. But our planes do very, very well at 5,000-6,000 feet, and don't be scared of the density altitude. Just know what you're doing coming in, and plan accordingly. But I just think it's going to be a great convention this year on many different fronts. And Jim, you're taking a great lead on this. There's so many things that we can do, and again, as far as your spouses or significant others are concerned, I really do want to say we will have so many options for them to be able to take them to different places. That's going to be a lot of my role in the midst of what we're doing here, is just to make sure that everybody has a great time, and we didn't drag anybody along on this event. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah. Scott, go ahead. Scott, you reminded me of one other. Sorry, man. You go. All right, I'll go. Am I on mute? No, yeah. You reminded me one other thing, Scott, is I think you guys are all familiar with, or I bet a good number of you are familiar with Bold Method, the training corporation. You see a lot of their emails and all that come out. Well, the Bold Method guys are based at my home airport, and if you've never seen their training content, it's wonderful. They've also agreed to come present to us during the convention, but what they've also agreed to do is to give us a couple of Bold Method, and it's high quality stuff, training briefings on these Zoom meetings before the convention. So they'll talk about density altitude flying and how to prepare it. This airport is field elevation, I think it's 4,500 feet or so, 4,600 feet. So it's not, well, for us, it's not that bad at all. It's low, right? My field elevation is 57. But they're going to give us a Zoom meeting on density altitude and winds and mountain wave and understanding the unique winds in the foothills before we do that flight. And then we'll also do some cross-country planning training session, if you will, during our Zoom meeting. So they've agreed to do that for us as well. So that's it for the convention. I do this every week, man. It's like, okay, anything you want to talk about, take as much time as you want, as long as you get it done in the next 2 minutes for open mic. I'm so sorry.
Jim, I didn't hear Nick give anything. He said a 20% discount on those products. Did you get anything as to how to
He
claim
did not
that?
send it in advance, Tom, but when he does, he will send it to me and I'll send it out by email for the Short Ring Piper Club. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man, and he'll do it. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Tom, it's Mark Shada. I just wanted to draw your attention to the fact that I sent you a chat.
Sent me a check?
Yeah, a chat.
Oh, a chat. Okay, I'll take a look.
Thanks.
Good. His ears really perked up when you said a check.
I was telling him if he had some extras, send them up this way.
Yeah, he was like, you got to hit the mute button so his wife don't hear. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. All right. So again, just to kind of wrap things up, here's what's on the schedule for the next couple. Next 2 weeks from now, December 22nd is going to be all open mic night. So I know a few of you have had questions on this or that, and we're keenly interested in a few like Jurgen's restore, and just that's what it's going to be the next time. And I think that'll be good. And I got to be more disciplined to have more of these, I think. On January 12th, I'm still working. I thought I had it locked up, but I'm trying to get a aircraft insurance expert to come talk to us, which I thought might be a good topic. But I'll tell you, if that falls through, I love Bob's idea of talking about preheating options and so forth. Maybe bring some photographs ahead of time of what you use and what you do. And then I'm real excited on January 26th. I'm hoping we get this guy's, his name is James Good, which I like is because him and I have almost the same name except for one letter. The only thing I screwed up is I kept telling him it was January 19th. And then when I was typing up the slide today, I was like, oh man, I gave him the wrong day. So I haven't heard back from James only because it's just been 2 hours. But if you want to get a preview of coming attractions, just search on YouTube for Aircoop TV. And James has a beautiful Aircoop that he hooks up 3 or 4 GoPros on. And it's just wonderful what he does with the cameras and how he flies that plane all over. He's based outside of, I think it's Truckee or Nevada County Airport in California. And he's got a couple where he chronicles his trip in the Aircoop back to Oshkosh a couple different times. And I think he does trips to the Wham Museum and all these other great things. And it's just extremely well done. And I wanted him to come talk to us about, his flying adventures, some ideas he had, and also how he does that, how he gets started in that documenting those videos. Because I'm a firm believer that, first of all, I think it's a great training idea. That's why I was asking Nick to come back with his camera setup. Again, you can say, well, I was 3 knots fast or 3 miles an hour fast on final, and the camera's going to show you we're 18 miles an hour fast. And that's why you floated down the runway. But also, I don't want to get all sappy or anything, but I would walk around my house on my lips for the opportunity to see a video of my dad doing flight training. Right? Can you imagine the legacy that if you've got videos of you flying your short wing on a trip somewhere, can you imagine that'd be worth its weight in gold 50 years from now for your kids or your grandkids or your great grandkids? So, yeah, like I said, I don't mean to get sappy about it, but I did videos of my mom telling her life story, like when she met my dad and all that. And I took 6 of them, and then mom died. And I kick myself is that every time I think about it, I should have taken 600 of those videos, but I only took 6. But anyhow, that's what that's what we're going to do on the 26th of January. As always, please, I know we're action packed tonight, so I didn't give you a fighting chance to speak very much. But if you've got any questions or comments or feedbacks or anything you want to get to me, you see my my contact information there on the screen, or somehow reach out to me or call me or text me or whatever and let me know what we can do better. This is supposed to be for the whole gang of us. This isn't my show. It's not like yeah, I just got the mouse controller. That's what I keep telling you. So are there any questions or comments or anything you want to bring up before we button her up?
The flyer that you had posted a second ago for the get together, is that on the website?
It's not. Ooh, that'll give me something. That'll keep me off the streets tomorrow. Figure out how I can do that. Great idea. Yeah. Yeah. I was handing them out. I had them at Oshkosh and I've been putting them on. I think it's in the Short Wing News, this flyer, but there's got to be a way I can get that on the website. I'll have to
get the Short Wing News. I don't know. I've never gotten that, I don't think.
Yeah, this is the Short Wing News is the quarterly newsletter that the club sends out. Are you a member of the club or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was. Unless my subscription has, but
you
I
can
know
go
I
on.
was. I can get into the forums and all that stuff.
Okay, well then you're a member. You should be a member, and then I think you can. And I'm not an expert on this. Maybe if Tom's still here, he can tell us. But you might have, when you did your membership, I think you can join without getting the news, or at least the hard copy of the news. So
I'll look at it.
Yeah, email. Send me an email. You got my email address. I can help you guide you through it. If you need help setting things up, happy to do it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, the membership can be done with just the electronic news. That's actually the lowest price membership that's available there. And if you're a member, you can find out. Just try to log on to the new website, shortwingpiperclub.org, and if you get onto that, you've got a membership. But you'll need to make sure your password and username have been updated since we switched the site, and that's easily done. If it's not on there, and you think you're a current member, hit forgot password and go through that process, and that you should be able to get a temporary username and phone number from that, and then that you can edit once you log on.
Yeah, well, it's telling me I'm looking at it now that my chip expired last month, I think. So I got to renew.
Yeah, you should have a box on there then that you can just, if you were a member, you should have a box on there. You could just click on that box to renew.
Roger that.
Under your profile. And the profile is just hover your cursor over your name up in the upper right-hand corner. And you can open your profile there.
Roger that. All right, I'll take care of it.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, folks. Well, thanks everyone for joining, especially if this was your first or second one. I really appreciate it, and we'll be back same time, same operation here on the 22nd of December, just for an open mic night. So y'all have a good evening.
Thanks, all.
Thank you, Jim.
You got it.
Thank you.
Recording.
Thanks, Jim. Take care.
All right, thanks, Tom. We'll see you.